Roberto, if I just throw one about, obviously the talk around here is about the Cup next week.
Yes.
Last season it was you. What's the secret for an underdog to win at Wembley?
Well, I think the secret is to embrace that tag. I think sometimes when you go there, you feel too much of a underdog, and then you give in too much respect to the opposition, and you could be beaten before you start the game. The reality is that in any final, if you could choose, you want to be the underdogs. It's a day for everyone at Hull City to enjoy it. I think the real achievement is to get into the final, and then from that point on, if you can embrace that game as itself and being able to perform at Wembley. And I know that Hull City found it very, very difficult in the semi-final because they were favourites, and you can see that going now into the final is going to be the opposite, and I do expect Hull City to perform extremely, extremely well because of the flexibility that the team has. I think Steve Bruce over the last 2 years has given the team a real tactical know-how, and if you can control the occasion and be yourself, I think Hull City will have a fantastic opportunity.
Any tips to beat in Arsenal, because you've done that already this season?
Well, it's not easy. I must admit, I think Arsenal had a fantastic ending of the season. Since we played them at Goodison, they've been sensational and they deserve to finish fourth. So they're not going to play, obviously, an easy team. I think it's a team full of quality and they know exactly what they do. But the reality is that the pressure is going to be on Arsenal, and you can't really beat that position when you go in facing the final.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
But so with just on the selection, Barkley and Stones missing that, it leads you to certain thoughts when you're looking at a squad getting announced tomorrow. Is there any?
No. There were 3 players today that I had to protect. Ross and John were 2, and Antolin Alcaraz was the 3rd. It was more important that these 3 players, for different reasons, they played a lot of football of late. Antolin, after having a few niggles and injuries during the season, so we had to protect him today. And I wanted to see other players that they've been out injured, and before you send them away on holiday, you want to see where they are. So they passed the test, so they can have a bit of time off.
Are you thinking Barkley and Stones might be having a holiday, or might they be a bit busy?
No, they will be busy. They will be busy because obviously, as you know, it can always be the opportunity of representing the senior side. But if not, they're going to be with the under-21s in the Toulon tournament. So in one way or another, they're going to be busy, and that was one of the reasons that we had to look after them a little bit and make sure that they don't go into a summer with a risk of injury. So now they find they've been regenerating all week, and they're ready for whatever comes their way.
Roberto, is that your decision alone? Because very often we hear a Premier League manager wanting to protect the national side's interests.
No, it's the interest of the health of the player. Antolin Alcaraz is not going to be playing with Paraguay, and we protected him. Nowadays, you got so many stats and you got so much information about how the bodies are recovering that sometimes you get a clear indication of a body having a bit of a risk of injury. And today I wasn't going to take a risk with any of the players. We had Steven Pienaar coming back, Sylvain Distin coming back. It was important that we use the players that they were ready to play, and that's what we've been doing all season.
Have you got a gut feeling at all, Roberto, about whether it will be the 21s or seniors for the 2 of the boys?
I don't know. The truth is that I don't know. And I said it many times, is any manager you're going to ask in the Premier League, they're gonna be biased, and they're going to say that my players deserve to go to the national team. I'm not going to go down to that route. I trust Roy Hodgson's vision. I'm a big admirer of his experience, and I know that whatever he's going to do is behind a plan. And as a football club, all we are is happy to produce as much English talent as we can. We got 2 very experienced footballers with Jagielka and Leighton Baines that they've been involved in the last 2 years in the qualifiers. Even Leon Osman has been involved, and then Gareth Barry has been sensational all season, so nobody knows. He could have a great chance. And then as youngsters, John Stones and Ross Barkley, they are 2 names that they've been involved with the under-21, so the FA and Roy Hodgson knows them extremely well after 2 very impressive seasons. So whatever the national team decides, we'll be happy to help, and we'll be very, very proud of our players representing their country.